Take a look at Phase 5, the Phase 5 dive. The Marvels comes out in November, probably a flop.
Yeah.
Captain America, New World Order comes out next May. Any reason to think that won't be a flop? I don't have a good reason.
No, it'll suck.
Thunderbolts next July, definitely a flop. I can't see any way out of it.
Okay, with the exception of they're going to try to oversell Harrison Ford in that film.
Oh, it's not. Oh, come on, that can't work. They just
No,
can't.
wait.
I'm still pissy about them recasting him, yet letting Chadwick Boseman not be recast.
Exactly. That's crazy. William Hurt dies, but they can change him. But no. I'm not saying it will work. Don't misunderstand. Listen to what I said. I said that I think they will try to lever him hard in those trailers. And
he's too old. Don't lever him. Don't lever him too hard.
He'll break something then. But
here's
no,
the thing.
Valiant's probably right because he's an A-lister still,
He is an A-lister, but here's the thing. This is the caveat, folks. This is where the business analysis comes in, right? That's all going to depend on how well or not well, potentially, Indiana Jones 5 does this summer.
That's a great point.
If Indy 5 is a big hit, they will lever the crap out of that capital that is Harrison Ford for Thunderbolts. If not, it'll be interesting.
So let's get the crowd ahead of the headlines for next year. A full 365 ahead of what the Access and Legacy media will be saying finally when they decide to tell the truth, which they'll have to be forced to do because they'll never do it on their own.
Listen, folks.
Marvel could have flop after flop all the way until November 8th of next year with Deadpool 3. There is an easy probability that Marvel has failures nonstop, excluding Guardians, that's separate, but everything sans Guardians all the way until November of next year, box office failures the whole way through.
And Deadpool 3 has me scared because outside of the fact that all the contracts and everything were probably signed before Bob came back in the door, Lord knows what he's going to do to derail that thing between now and then.
Indeed.
I just think Hugh Jackman will carry at least as
luckily you have Hugh Jackman and you have Ryan Reynolds to kind of stand guard on that thing, but they're only so powerful. And we've seen Ryan just say F it and walk. But I mean, that's why I said contractual. Like I said, I'm glad the contracts were signed and everything was kind of in place before this all went down, because otherwise I'd be like, I don't know what's going to happen with that movie now.
Disney is facing a competitive war, a business competitive war on all fronts. I mean, this is what we're looking at. It's not just Marvel. I just wanted to pull this up because I had this chart ready to go. That's
a great chart. Why have we not shown this before? This is wonderful.
He's got charts.
That's why you're on my show, dude.
Oh, I love this chart. Though this is a great visual. This absolutely if you show this to the average person, said, look, here's why Disney equal bad right now. They go, oh.
This is why, and look, and again, I'm going to reiterate the point. I am bringing this up. I am not just sitting here dancing in my chair. We're going to dump on Disney. Yee-haw. I don't have anything personally against Disney. I think they're making bad properties right now. I think they used to make great properties. I think they need to get back to making great properties because they've proven they could do it for decades on end when they're not run by cultural Marxism or socio-political politics and BS that has nothing to do with family entertainment. They're a family entertainment company. This right here, this is the measurement, and this is what Wall Street, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm being arrogant by saying this, but when it came to streaming and when it came to a lot of other things that we've discussed here on Valiant Renegade, for those of you who've been watching this channel now for the 2+ years we've been on, you know what I'm about to say. We've been ahead of the curve. Way ahead. Okay? When everybody on Wall Street was chasing subscribers, who's got the most subscribers? Who grew this quarter by the most subscribers? Blah, blah, blah. And I kept saying, this is Fugazi. This is BS. There actually has to be a value proposition. There actually has to be an operating income metric here that is commensurate with what they're actually doing, what they're spending. Finally, Wall Street is now catching up. This is the next thing that Wall Street is going to catch up to right here. This is the next thing that Wall Street will catch up to. Renegade predictions right now. This is it. They haven't seen these charts yet. They're going to start seeing them. This
and I
is
want to
the
explain
year.
something on that chart in a minute.
Yeah. This is the year, 2023, where this is all going to come to a head, big time, because Disney kept using the excuses on earnings calls for one full fiscal year. Well, family audiences just aren't ready to. Bull crap. Bull crap. They came out there, okay, and I didn't even put. Let's put. Hang on. I'm sorry. I forgot one. Pro. Let's go ahead.
Get rid of that chart. I need to show something on it. Oh my god.
I'm gonna show it.
Okay.
Oh, look, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for 2024, by the way, is here already.
Oh yeah.
It's already in the chart. Let's put Sonic in here, okay? Look at this. Look at this damn chart. The blue line up top is Minions Rise of Gru. The red line right here is Sonic the Hedgehog.
So, and let's just say, let's just call this chart family films now. Who cares about the animated category?
This is
just
it.
Call it family films.
Look at Puss in Boots, day 81. By the way, back here on like day 30, this is when Puss in Boots went to PVOD. It's gone from 115 million to 179 million domestic in the last 50 days, and it's been on PVOD. This is stupid. Then let's go down to the green lines. Lightyear, suck. Strange World, suck.
El Succo.
This is it. Disney no longer holds the crown. The Game of Thrones has been played, and Disney has lost. They're out. They're out. And when Super Mario Brother hits the charts in 2 weeks from now, get ready. Get ready. 3 weeks, whatever the hell it is. This is the problem. This is what Wall Street, Valiant Renegade prediction, this is what Wall Street is going to catch up to. And I assure you, within the next 4 fiscal quarters of Disney, this is going to come up during a Q&A session. This chart right here, maybe not this chart specifically, but this data point is going to come
like, where
up.
did you get this chart?
This is going to come up. Like, how is it that Universal Studios and Apple TV with Skydance, yeah, Apple TV with Skydance is coming up the ranks? Disney is about to get their butt handed to them on the animation side, and there's no excuse for this, except for the fact that Disney has been putting a shotgun to both of their feet now for the last several years.
But they're on the right side of history, Valiant. They're on the right side of history.
The floor is yours. Do it.
Okay, everybody. Here's what I'm going to show you on this chart. Some of you have probably already noticed this. What you're looking for on this chart is not necessarily how high the line goes.
Right.
You are looking for when does it flatline.
The curvature.
Because when it flatlines, tells you, okay, look at the green one. Okay, that's Lightyear. Everybody pay attention. Lightyear goes up, 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 and very quickly it just like gets capped.
Yep.
And the reason for that is, I'll guarantee you, I mean, we're looking at it now in a visual, statistical way. People said, you don't want to go see this movie because, and it just died. Strange World is so low. I mean, God, I don't even know how you.
No marketing.
do it,
but the real quick pro, and I want you to keep going. I'm sorry. I just want to say this for people in the audience. Day 10. This is why I have this highlighted. Day 10. That is the second Sunday. That is the close of the second weekend. Pro, what do we always talk about, especially with Disney Marvel movies? It's all about what happens in the second weekend.
That's right.
So this is the metric, day 10. And day 10 on Lightyear, day 3, that was the close of the first Sunday.
And look, it's with Minions Rise of Gru the first weekend until people realize what the crap's in this movie.
Day 3, Minions Rise of Gru, 107. Day 3 on Lightyear, 50. Okay? Now, I want you to look at day 10 here, 210 versus it was double. And look at the curvature. The curvature still blows through all the way up until day 28.
Moment, it's in the black too, mind you.
Oh, big time. Look at day 27. In the black
after 300 million, it's like all money in there.
Now look at the difference in like Puss in Boots and Sonic. You see how you get the bends? What that's showing is you're getting these weekend bursts.
Yep.
Look at Lightyear. There is nothing.
Day 7,
it just hockey sticks into flatline.
Day 10, 118. Day 7, 89. Day 10, 118. Now, again, that was still early on in 22. I mean, that was one of the first big movies.
Imagine if they released a Shrek movie right now. What that would do.
Yeah. Did you watch Puss in Boots? Because they left that open.
I know. There's been talks. Yeah. There's been talks.
Where you at,
and if Sonic were released 6 months later, let's say, all things the same, Sonic probably gets up maybe 20% higher.
Well, if Sonic's more of a niche, kind of a niche brand, if you think about it in a way too. Sorry, Valiant, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was going to say, if Sonic had been a summer movie, it would have been even bigger.
Yeah, and that's because that's not just because of the season; it's because of the pandemic issues. Sonic was still coming out at a time when a lot of families were like, "No, we're not going to go to theaters."
Puss in Boots is the ridiculous thing on this chart. Look at this damn thing.
Oh yeah.
Look at the end of day 7. This is bonkers. Okay, day 7.
That's what fantastic word of mouth will do.
After a week, it was at 32 million. After the first week, day 3, it was at 11. Its opening 3 days was 11 million. That's it. Yep. That's 65 right now, folks. That's 65. Okay? Look at this damn thing. It just kept going. And it's still going. It's still it's still bumping up every weekend. It's still got a noticeable bump every weekend at this point, and it's been on PVOD now for 2 months. It's on Peacock now for free. And it's still. This is the power of quality filmmaking. Mm-hmm. That's it. This is as simple as it can get. We are actually taking pop culture now, right now here on Valiant Renegade. We are taking pop culture, and we are showing you the math of pop culture. This is it. This is how it works. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is the dollars and cents. This is the finance. This is what Hollywood needs to be watching. This is what Wall Street, I promise you, again, in the next 3 to 4 fiscal quarters, this chart, this is what they're coming around to. This is going to start getting recognized, especially after Super Mario Brothers.
And for the people who have asked, how much is it worth to Disney to stick with this DEI woke movement, this intersectional religion? Yep. Well, look at this chart. That purple line is how much it's worth to them. For whatever reason, they don't have to be in this, sitting on the bottom. They don't have to hockey stick into oblivion after people go to the theater and say, no, do not go see this. I had to explain to my kid for an hour how 2 women can have a baby, but that's the cost. Along with, and by the way, Valiant, when you had Legal Mindset on, we talked about how much money Disney is losing with the Disney World thing, losing the self-governance. This is the kind of stuff we're looking at right now when we're saying, here's the cost to Disney. It's not just the loss. So if you look at Lightyear and you say, okay, so they lost 100 million, maybe. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's not the real loss, because you have to look at what was the potential that Disney had if they just made a movie that made people happy. And then you say, well, with Buzz Lightyear on it, it's like $1 billion.
Yeah, that's
your loss.
That exactly, Pro. That is what we call colloquially in the finance world, that's the economic opportunity cost, right? That's the money yo dumbass left on the table. That's the real cost of money. You made a choice to do this. It's not just about how much money you lost on a financial profit and loss. It's about how much money you left on the table. Lightyear should have been as a Toy Story adjunct, right? Lightyear should have been maybe not reached $1 billion, but it should have been relatively close. Lightyear should have been a movie by all accounts. If they had brought in Tim Allen, if they had done it right, if they had made a movie to that character's framework that would have been appealing to the largesse of the audiences out there that have followed the Toy Story IP and franchise now for decades, that movie should have been at least Thor Love and Thunder, $750 million, right? Easy 750. That piece of crap struggled to even get to 200 globally. That's a dumpster fire. That's a dumpster fire. And we've covered why. You can't get rid of people like John Lasseter and the entirety of the heart and soul of Pixar. Several other people from Pixar that we've covered many times that have left, and now they're all over at Skydance. All over at Skydance. They're back working for Apple again, where Pixar used to be.
Which, by the way, Apple coming for your theaters soon. Disney coming for
Indeed.
your theaters.
Yep. And I know we got some
Hey.
super chats, Mike.
Last thought, though, before we do, this EOC we're talking about, economic opportunity cost.
Yep.
Here's what we're going to be looking for, folks. Little Mermaid. If they've just sent it out there and they do it the right way and it makes everybody happy, what's the EOC of that versus if they bring out this movie and it's driven by this Moses Eisley thing,
Yeah.
it's driven by this divisive racial stuff.
Moses Ingram.
What's going to be what's Moses Ingram? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What is the EOC? What's the economic cost of putting the Little Mermaid out there in that way versus just make people happy, make content that's not divisive?
Renegade.